So I found this incredible video on a Chinese website recently. You guys know me. When I see something like that, I just can't help it. I love every type of dumpling, but the wonton has gotta be one of my absolute favorites. First of all, it's very delicious and it's versatile. You can boil it, you can fry it, you can put it in soup, but it's also just so much easier to make than any other type of dumpling out there. The big advantage is that unlike for other types of dumplings, you don't actually have to make the wrappers yourself, right? Store-bought wonton skins are actually pretty good. So I am here at Go Asia. Full disclosure, they are supporting the channel, but they have a really good selection of products, and I want to go to the frozen food section and show you something. Check this out, you guys. They have at least like 6 to 7 different types of wontons, and they're all gonna work. But the one thing I'm gonna recommend to you is that you check the ingredients and you make sure your wonton wrappers contain eggs, which normally means better quality. Okay, we have a lot of wonton making ahead, so let's start by making a simple filling. This is just a very basic pork wonton filling. It takes like 3 minutes to make. You'll find the recipe below. But before we start making turbo wontons and probably failing horribly, we need to catch up on the basics. So first of all, there is no such thing as the wonton. There is the northern Chinese hundun, there is the Cantonese yuntun, and then there's the Sichuanese chaoshou. Just to name a few, there are many more. They're all kind of one big family, but there are also really big regional differences in how they're prepared and how they're served. If you didn't know, now you know. That being said, one of the most common generic wonton folding techniques I usually come about is this one. You first wet the edges of your wonton wrapper to make them sticky, then you add a little bit of filling, fold it over, seal it shut, and finally you connect the two corners. Really simple, isn't it? But that's not the question. The question is, how fast is it? Alexa, Timer auf 1 Minute.
1 Minute, ab jetzt.
So that's 5 wontons. That's a little over 10 seconds per wonton. Not too shabby actually, I think, but it's nowhere close to what that wizard on the streets of Beijing does. So let's see what we can learn from him. So first of all, he holds a stack of loosened wonton wrappers in his left hand and a chopstick in the other. He never puts them down. That alone speeds him up tremendously. Also, his filling looks quite wet, indicating he probably added a little bit of liquid, and the bowl is kind of flat, which both makes it much easier to grab a properly sized portion of filling. This guy also doesn't brush the wrapper with water or anything. Instead, he just does this one quick motion that apparently seals the wonton well enough for the filling not to fall out. I like that. I do like that. So now with all this new knowledge that we have, let's do a little bit of research and see if I can come up with a more efficient way to wrap wontons. And I only know one appropriate way to do this, which is in a montage. So bad news first, guys. That legendary guy from the streets of Beijing, I don't know how he does it. I watched the video countless times, that rotating motion he does, I just don't know. But I did use everything that we've learned, and here's what I came up with. First, you really need to loosen a stack of wonton wrappers and hold them in one hand. In the other, you're gonna hold a regular table knife. Now watch closely, here's how you do it. Spread a little filling on the corner of your wrapper. Now smack it with your knife, which will slightly stick to the filling, and then you turn it once, turn it again, then fold it over, pull out the knife, and at the same time, firmly seal the wonton with your thumb. Lastly, you flick the wonton away because that's what the cool kids do. One more time, filling, smack, turn, turn, fold, seal, flick. I am actually very proud I figured this one out. But before I get too excited, once again, the real question is, how much faster did I get? Alexa, stelle den Timer auf 1 Minute.
Eine Minute, ab jetzt.
All right. They don't look perfect, but let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and wait, 15. That's 3 times the speed. Now I know some of you are probably wondering, will those wontons even hold together? And the answer is yes. They're obviously not perfect yet, there is clearly room for improvement, but I'm getting much better every single time I practice. Plus, I actually think wontons are quite forgiving when it comes to this stuff. So now I have this whole truckload of wontons here, which is fine, they actually freeze really well. So in one of my next videos, we are going to figure out what to do with those. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.
This video was brought to you by Andong's epic Patreon supporters. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the bell for weekly food inspiration from all over the world.